Hello and welcome to Focus IR. I am John Hughman and I'm very pleased to be joined this morning by Scott Livingston, who is CEO of a very recent AIM entrant, a very rare new AIM entrant these days, and in a company that combines two the hottest trends out there at the moment, health and wellness and data-driven marketing. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having me.
So the company in question is Tooru PLC, came to market via Reverse Takeover in May. So, Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself and how Tooru came to be.
Thanks. Yeah, well, I set up my career started in finance, but since 2004, I've been building consumer brands. I built a bath salt business with factories around the world and learned very quickly how to build factories, distribution channels, brands, etc. Originally, S-Ventures PLC, we listed in 2020 on Aquis, and we acquired a number of consumer brands in the wellness sector. We've then spent pretty much over a year doing a deal with an AIM listed vehicle, which we've now completed, and we've renamed it called Tooru PLC. The subsidiaries that we've acquired are now 100% owned under the AIM vehicle Tooru, ticker code TOO. So we're very much an operating business now, and we operate across bakery, nutritional snacking, and we have a tech arm too, which help complement the D2C growth. So we're very much about challenger brands and trying to get the challenger brands growing exponentially and capturing big percentages of markets that we feel are ready and open for a challenger.
Tell us a bit about those brands. What are the wellness brands that are under the Tooru umbrella?
So our first acquisition, which was in 2021, was actually Pulsin, which is a nutritional supplement business, which makes protein bars, fiber bars, and actually has a 25-year history. It doesn't have a lot of the chemicals and ingredients that some of our competitors have. In fact, Joe Wicks, the program, alluded to some of these types of protein bars out there recently on TV. But we have a particular sophisticated set of ingredients and a very loyal fan base, and we plan to basically grow that business and capture a larger share of the market. And obviously, if you look at some of the competitors and the types of sizes of those revenues, it's a big market to go after. So we plan to expand Pulsin and into different types of products too. We have another main acquisition we made, which was Juvela Limited, which is a profitable multi-million-dollar bakery in Wales that actually originally provides for the celiac channel and still does, and it's a prescription product. So if a doctor diagnoses celiac, you would have a list of brands to choose from. We own the majority of the market in that sector, and we have a very sophisticated set of ingredients that make it very tasty and make it taste like normal bread. We've just launched under that brand a new brand called Oath, OAF, which is a gluten-free range. We've got 8 products now live in Tesco, selling really well, taste brilliant, very well branded. We've got a great team of new product design, formula teams, sales and marketing teams that have done a fabulous job in growing that, which you can look at oathglutenfree.co.uk, I think. And that's doing really well. So we expect to now try and get into the mass market free from category, which is a little boring. Not much focus has been there. It's not very colorful or interesting. And we're trying to basically provide something that really tastes great and reaches out to that new type of consumer that actually is a free from lifestyler as opposed to being a celiac or having a medical situation in the first place. So, we noticed that even teenagers, even in low-income areas, would actually read the ingredients of what they're eating these days. So there's a fundamental shift in patterns, which is why we believe that we're ultimately in a growth sector.
Yeah. And there's a third brand, Purely. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so Purely is a small plantain crisp business. We source plantain. It's actually a very good way of having complex carbohydrate, very tasty, very good for you. Meets criteria like HFSS, very tasty. We've done very well in Holland & Barrett and other retailers. We have a number of different tastes, spicy, garlic, salty. And it's a small business, but we expect to expand that in snacking too. And then Market Rocket we have, which is a digital agency, which basically looks after people's Amazon presence. We'll have a social media and PR sector to that. And that obviously helps us grow businesses like Pulsin Online, which is has a big interest and demand online. I mean, just to look at competitors like MyProtein, they have nearly 500 million revenues. So there's a lot of opportunity for us to expand and grow.
Yeah, indeed. Tell us how that sort of data-driven capability is helping you to expand and grow these brands, and what other approaches you'll be taking to expanding not just these brands' reach themselves, but Tooru as a whole.
Yeah, so our main focus is really on shelf presence. Being in the big retailers is what is key to our growth. You can have all the awareness in the world, but if you can't walk to your nearest sort of shop or nearest few shops and find it within one of them, then obviously you're going to struggle. We obviously like D2C and we will be growing within D2C, but obviously it can be a little promiscuous in a sense that the costs of acquiring the customer can change. Google, Meta, and all of these engines change their parameters, change their costs. So we have to be quite careful and manage our D2C properly. And also it's not quite as reliable as the retail, where, we believe that to create massive value and massive upside, and let's say versus some comparables who would sell for a multiple of revenue, they would always be in the big five and very successful in the big five. So obviously Sainsbury's, Asda, Morrison's, Tesco, those sorts of Aldi retailers is where we would expect the biggest volume and the biggest value to be created.
Indeed. And obviously you've mentioned Tesco already as a channel that you use, and yes, obviously you're making progress towards that. In terms of expanding the portfolio, I understand being now AIM listed, that gives you a fair old sort of platform to build further brands within the group. Tell us a bit about your thinking there.
Yes, so we obviously don't want to overcomplicate things and have too many brands, because we've got a lot of work to do in making Oath that fantastic challenger brand and grabbing a share of the market. We have a job to make Pulsin, or give Pulsin the share of the market that it deserves. We will be launching new brands, and we will also be looking acquisitively at businesses that we might be able to fit within our structure. So, for example, companies that we could manufacture their products for them, or companies that might share the same ingredients, obviously the same consumer demographic. Now, we are always looking at those deals, but obviously it's a question of working capital. Once we have appreciation and value of the listed vehicle, then we would obviously look at potentially paper deals. And there's unprecedented opportunity out there to also be buying distress, or also buy, small companies that perhaps are inefficient and not actually profitable. And we can change their margins overnight by bringing in-house manufacturing and various skill sets.
Yeah, indeed. It is a busy market, the health and wellness sector. What is it? I mean, you've alluded to some of these sort of specific formulations that give you a sort of product advantage. Tell us a bit more about what you believe your competitive advantage is.
Yeah, well, there's a number of factors. Certainly with Juvela, we have a lot of provenance. It's a 30-year-old business. It has a lot of followers, people that trust its heritage. We were very careful with what we were putting into a lot of the new products in Oath. We have a free-from factory built next to our existing factory, which is free from all the allergens. Some of our products, we spend a lot of time and a lot of money trying to get the ingredients right. And it's a very difficult task for the industry to get it completely right. Because obviously, traditionally, perfectly natural would mean perfectly, extremely untasty. And now it's a sort of gold rush in a way to be making foods and snacking products that are good for you, that taste good. And I think that we're a million miles away now than where we were as an industry, not individually, but we're getting better at it and better at it by finding new methods. So the market's wide open. It's growing very fast, and we believe we have enough heritage provenance. We're obviously building Oath, for example, off the back of a profitable, established 30-year-old company. It's a lot easier than being a challenger brand from a startup, which obviously has massive drains on capital, lack of existing infrastructure, skill sets, teams, etc. So we're on the front foot, which is important.
Yeah, indeed. And that's already showing up in the numbers. You've already reported some numbers. Talk us through, what the business is delivering in terms of both the top line and its EBITDA profitable as well at the moment. Just talk us through where you are as a fairly established business, as you say.
Yeah. So as a group, approximately in gross sales value, we're around the £15 million mark now, and that's really from a standing start a few years ago, having got these deals done, and obviously through quite a difficult period as well. I think life is normalising, but it's obviously been a treacherous couple of years. We had huge spikes in energy costs and ingredient costs and logistics, a couple of years ago. So we've been recovering from that. We've got enough scale. We're EBITDA positive. It's quite confusing for the market because the AIM-listed vehicle acquired the businesses in May. We then released interims for the first 6 months to June, and obviously that only includes a month of revenue. So we obviously have some time to get through before it harmonises, and our numbers that we're releasing obviously make sense on a sort of run rate basis. But we're profitable, we've got reasonable scale, and we expect to grow exponentially, organically, and potentially acquisitively.
Yeah, indeed. And obviously, one thing we as investors always like to see is directors with skin in the game, and you certainly have that. Tell us a bit about your interest in the company. You're very incentivized to make this work.
Yes, I do get out of bed in the morning. I put a lot of my own personal money in. I own I think 37% of S-Ventures PLC, which is a 28% holder in Tooru. So I own I think 12% via that vehicle approximately. I also own 7% directly, which was money I invested myself. There is an option pool that I'm involved with, but also for the management team. So my holding is material, and I'm 100% incentivized to create shareholder value with skin in the game. Lots of security.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I think that must really impact the culture, the way the company operates. It seems incredibly important that you and the rest of the management team are incentivized in this way.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's critical that people have skin in the game. It's also changes your attitude to shall we or should we or could we to we must. We must make things work, and we have to make it work. And it's always just a case of how. There's always a way to make things work, and we get better and better at it.
Yeah, indeed, and with a lot of expertise behind the group as well. And so let's perhaps have a think ahead and what this might turn into. What can we expect over the next 3 years? What does success look like?
So success for me would be multiplying the revenues of Oaf, our challenger brand in the free-from bakery aisle. We've got pizza slices, we've got subs, we've got sourdoughs, we've got various different flavors. We see that we could multiply our revenues if we get it right in that business. I think also with Pulsin, we could multiply our revenues if we get it right. When we get it right, not if, of course. So I could see, tens of millions of pounds of revenue would obviously be our goal, and to obviously have value of a multiple of revenue. So we should be able to create some significant value. And if you look at comparables that have done similar things, they're selling for north of 4 times revenue to strategics that would potentially like the shortcut of new products, innovation, etc. So I think what's crucial for us and what's crucial for running factories and becoming a decent, well-established brand or portfolio of brands is scale. And we want to work on creating scale, because that's what speeds everything up and allows you to make better decisions, buy better companies, have economies of scale, grow the teams, grow the expertise, and become better and better.
Indeed, it's a very, very exciting vision. I can certainly attest to the fact that there are many celiacs in among my friends and family who are looking for that perfect product, and it sounds like you may just have it. I'll be pointing them in your direction.
Tesco. Go to Tesco. Yeah. Oaf.
Tesco, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, Scott, for speaking to us today. Really, as I say, sounds like a very, very exciting company.